Wait, is Robert Downey Jr.'s Dolittle worse than Cats? Fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe have been long waiting to see what Robert Downey Jr. would get up to after his memorable turn as Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, aka the heart of the MCU. And when it turned out to be a new take on Dr. Dolittle, we all scratched our heads a bit. But we're like, sure, okay, why not? Then, when we saw the Dolittle trailer with the weird choice of a pseudo-Welsh accent going on, we developed a scalp issue due to all the head scratching. We went to the doctor and got an ointment, so we're fine. But it's worth noting that this is a kid's movie and wasn't made for us, which is fine. Not everything needs to be made for us specifically. However, with the reviews for Dolittle coming out this week, it feels like this movie might not be for anyone. And maybe, just maybe, Cats might be getting knocked off its pedestal as the most batshit film in recent memory featuring CGI animals played by celebs in favor of another batshit film full of CGI animals played by celebs. So let's check out these reviews to see if it's really as bad as people are saying. As always, we'll start with the positive. Vanity Fair's Richard Lawson had this to say. Technically speaking, Dolittle is a film made for children, so we should probably mostly view it through that lens. In that regard, the movie is perfectly okay. The little ones in my audience sounded plenty enthralled in the beginning stretches of the movie, laughing when the one computer animal hit the other computer animal on the head, shrieking with delight whenever a kooky cute new character popped up on screen. Oh, that's not so bad. And in fact, it seems to be the trend for the positive points of the movie. It's a serviceable movie for its target audience, children who enjoy talking animals. And to be honest, isn't that all children? Maybe this thing might become a hit after all. Of course, not everyone was so kind. Matt Singer over at Screen Crush ponders some of the choices made, saying, "It appears that at a certain point, someone in a position of power determined that this movie could not be saved, but it could be shortened. And so Dolittle is absolutely relentless, a non-stop 100-minute assault of putrid gags, abysmal stunts, and celebrity vocal cameos." He went on to say, Dolittle is the kind of bad movie that puts the badness of other films in perspective. The current bad movie du jour, Cats, is bizarre and alarming, but at least it's consistent in its presentation of a nightmarish world populated only by weirdly sexual human-cat hybrids. Cats is deranged, but it's still something. In the words of a talking dog that probably appears in Dolittle, woof. IGN's review doesn't add any hope. Dolittle is structured like it was written by a room full of monkeys lazily banging on typewriters between shit-slinging, then cut together by a blind man with broken fingers. And then, okay, you might be thinking, so technically it's a mess, but is it entertaining? Not really. To be fair, if there was a movie to be written by monkeys with command of English language, this would be apt. Vulture says it all in their headline, Dolittle is anti-cinema, and ends with the line, Dolittle is a calamity for the ages. David Sims over at The Atlantic seemed baffled by the film. Characters appear and vanish from the action with no explanation. At one point, Dolittle and company are welcomed aboard a new boat by a bearded man who announces, "I'm Jeff," and is never seen or mentioned again. Somehow, the supporting cast of humans emerges largely unscathed. Antonio Banderas is a compelling pirate king. Michael Sheen is a hilariously preening villain. But that barely matters in a movie where 90% of the dialogue consists of bargain basement sitcom zingers delivered by ducks and squirrels. Rolling Stone's Peter Travers laments what the film has done to RDJ. This out-and-out disaster dissolves in a puddle of botched intentions that will leave children sad and confused, and adults scratching their heads. He goes on to say, there really is no excuse for the harm done to Downey, a world-class actor who sucked down into this quicksand of a movie that even Iron Man couldn't salvage. Let's start with that accent. Is it British, Welsh, Scottish, some amalgam of all three? His dialogue appears to be dubbed. At times, his lips don't move with what he is saying, and when he is actually decipherable, it's all in service of a plot that defies logic or basic human interest. Ty Burr at the Boston Globe compares the film to the original Hugh Lofting books. I definitely don't recall a scene in the books in which the good doctor has to perform a rectal probe on said dragon with much comic passing of gas. If that strikes you as hilarious, by all means go with God. Otherwise, stick with the books. Actually, we're going to count this one as a positive. In fact, that sentence made some of us in the office want to see the film more than anything else has. We're looking at you, Stephen. Let's see if any other reviews follow up on this dragon's ass business. Our colleagues over at Slash Film mentioned the scene in question, saying, "This is a movie that features a scene in which Dolittle sticks a leek up a dragon's ass to dislodge skeletons, pieces of armor, and what looks to be the entire Spanish Inquisition. At the end, the dragon rewards him with a tender thank you and a long, drawn-out fart in his face." Okay, you know what? We've changed our minds. We're totally on board for this film. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But what do you folks think? Are you on board to see how bad it can be? Or does Dolittle do little for you? Are you impressed we restrained ourselves with only one Dolittle pun? And could RDJ's rumored cameo in Black Widow be just to wash away the bad taste of Dolittle? Or will it do little for him? Let's discuss. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, why not give us a like and subscribe? If you want to get notified every time we go live with the show or drop a new video, feel free to mash that little bell so you can be up to date on all the latest theories, news, and rumors in the pop culture world.